Ma'am, you're in labor. I don't care. Start compressions now. Blood, asphalt, water breaking, his heartbeat fading beneath her hands. Welcome back. If this story grabs you, smash that subscribe button. Let's go. Colette Brennan's scrubs stuck to her back like a second skin. 9 months pregnant, 94 degrees, another 12-hour shift at Riverside Medical done. Her feet screamed with every waddle toward the parking lot. The baby, her baby, kicked hard against her ribs like he was as tired of waiting as she was. "Just 5 more days, little man," she muttered, one hand cradling her belly. "5 more days and we're—" Tires, screaming. Metal meeting bone. Colette's head whipped left. Harrison Street, the intersection 50 feet away. A black Mercedes SUV sat sideways across the white lines, driver's door hanging open like a broken jaw, and sprawled across the crosswalk. A man, face down, not moving, red spreading fast beneath his head. "Somebody help him!" A woman's voice, high and panicked. "Call 911! "Is he dead? Oh God, is he dead?" A dozen people. Phones out, recording, nobody touching him. Colette's nursing brain kicked in before her pregnant body could protest. She dropped her purse. Keys hit pavement. Her water bottle rolled into the gutter. "Move!" The crowd parted like she'd split them with a knife. Her knees hit hot asphalt. Pain shot through her kneecaps, but she ignored it. 2 fingers pressed against his neck. Carotid artery. Pulse there. Weak. Too weak. His breathing. Shallow. Rattling. Wrong. "Sir, can you hear me?" She shook his shoulder. "Nothing." "Sir." His head rolled to the side. Late 30s. Strong jaw. Blood-matting dark hair. And his eyes. Rolled back. Only whites showing. Colette's hands moved on autopilot. Head tilt. Chin lift. Clear the airway. Check for breathing. Barely there. "Damn it!" She repositioned. Interlaced her fingers over his sternum. Locked her elbows. The baby shifted inside her, pushing against her diaphragm, stealing air she didn't have to spare. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pain. White hot. Electric. It seized her entire belly like someone had wrapped barbed wire around her middle and pulled. Colette gasped. Her arms wobbled. The man's chest rose under her compressions, then fell still. "No, no, no, no!" She gritted her teeth, pushed through it. 5, 6, 7, 8. "Ma'am, you need to stop." A man's voice behind her, hand on her shoulder. She jerked away. "Touch me again, and I'll break your fingers." 9, 10, 11. The contraction eased. Slightly. She kept going. Sweat poured down her temples, stinging her eyes. Her arms shook. The baby kicked hard. Angry or scared, she couldn't tell. "Please," she whispered to the dying man beneath her. "Please don't make me choose. Breathe. Just breathe." 20 compressions. 25. 30. Then, warmth. Flooding down her inner thighs, soaking through her scrubs. The crowd gasped. Someone shouted, "Oh my God, her water just broke." Colette didn't stop. Couldn't stop. She'd delivered 63 babies in 3 years at Riverside. She'd coached mothers through impossible labors, talked them through agony, held their hands while they brought life screaming into the world. She wasn't about to let death win now. "Come on," she begged, tears mixed with sweat. "Come on!" Another contraction, harder, meaner, stealing her breath. Her vision blurred. Black spots danced at the edges, but his chest, it moved. A cough. Wet and weak, but there. His eyelids fluttered. Brown eyes. Deep brown with these impossible flecks of gold catching the sunlight. "That's it," Colette breathed. "Stay with me. You hear me? Stay." The contraction hit full force. She doubled over, barely catching herself from collapsing onto him. "Ma'am, we've got this." Paramedics materialized. 2 of them, equipment bags hitting pavement. "Ma'am, you're in active labor. We need to get you—" "Subdural hematoma," Colette gasped, pointing at his head with a shaking finger. Check for internal bleeding. Ribs, probably cracked. Lung could be compromised. Another wave of pain stole her words. Don't let him... Strong hands lifted her, guided her to a second stretcher materializing from nowhere. What's your name? Colette. Brennan. She couldn't breathe. Couldn't think past the pain. Colette, how far apart are the contractions? 2 minutes? Less. I don't... They loaded her into an ambulance. Through the open doors, she saw them working on him, the man she'd saved. Oxygen mask, chest compressions starting again. He'd stopped breathing. No. God, no. Is he? She tried to sit up. Ma'am, lie back. We need to focus on you and your baby right now. Her baby. The one fighting to be born in the worst possible moment. The one she'd risked everything for, her body, her safety, maybe even his life, to save a stranger. Except he wasn't a stranger. She just didn't remember yet. The ambulance doors slammed. Sirens wailed. Colette closed her eyes as another contraction ripped through her, and somewhere in the chaos of pain and fear, a memory flickered. Brown eyes with gold flecks, a crooked smile, a voice saying, "Dance with me." Her eyes snapped open. No, it couldn't be. 6 months ago, the hospital gala. The man in the expensive suit who'd made her laugh, the one she'd spent exactly 4 hours with before disappearing at dawn because women like her didn't get fairy tales with men like him. The man whose child was currently trying to tear her apart from the inside. "Oh, God," she whispered. The paramedic leaned closer. "What?" "Nothing." She forced the word out. "Nothing." But it wasn't nothing. She'd just saved the father of her unborn child, and he had no idea who she was. The envelope arrived on a Tuesday, cream-colored, heavy stock. Embossed lettering that screamed money. Riverside Medical Center cordially invites you to the annual Spring Benefit Gala. Colette dropped it in the trash. Nope. Her roommate Mariah fished it back out. "Girl, it says attendance is mandatory for senior staff." "I'm not senior staff. I'm a labor and delivery nurse who works doubles to pay student loans." "It says your name right here," Mariah pointed. "Head Nurse Brennan." "That's a mistake. Or a promotion you didn't notice because you work 80 hours a week and survive on vending machine coffee." Colette snatched the invitation back, read the fine print. Mandatory attendance, business formal attire, no +1s. "I don't have business formal anything." "You have me," Mariah grinned. "And I have a navy dress that'll make you look like you belong with those rich people." Colette looked down at her scrubs, coffee-stained, wrinkled, smelling faintly of antiseptic and exhaustion. "I don't belong with rich people." "Good. Then you can remind them what actual work looks like." The Riverside Gala wasn't a party. It was a performance. Crystal chandeliers, wait staff in white gloves, donors in designer suits writing checks with more zeros than Colette's annual salary. She stood near the punch table in Mariah's borrowed dress, clutching a wine glass like armor, watching people laugh about yacht maintenance and summer homes. "Kill me now," she muttered. "You look like someone's holding you hostage." The voice came from her left, male, amused. Colette turned. The man standing there wore a charcoal suit that fit too perfectly to be rented, dark hair slightly messy, like he'd been running his hands through it, and his eyes, brown with these flecks of gold that caught the chandelier light. "That's because I am," she said. "Mandatory attendance." "Ah, your staff. Nurse, you're a donor." "Guilty." He smiled, crooked, self-deprecating. "Declan Hartwick. And before you judge me, I also think these things are mostly performative nonsense." "Then why come?" "Dead Father's Foundation. Living Mother's Expectations. The usual rich people drama." He gestured at her glass. "That wine's terrible, by the way." "It's free." "That explains it." He flagged down a waiter, grabbed 2 glasses of something amber, handed her one. Try this. If you're being held hostage, at least drink the good stuff. Colette hesitated, took a sip. It was smooth, expensive smooth. I can't afford to develop a taste for this. Then consider it a one-time educational experience. Declan leaned against the table beside her. So what's a labor and delivery nurse doing at a fundraiser she clearly hates? Apparently I got promoted and nobody told me. Congratulations? More like punishment. He laughed, genuine, reaching his eyes. I like you. You don't know me. True, but I know you're the only person in this room who's honest. He held out his hand. Dance with me. Colette looked at his outstretched palm. This was dangerous. Men like Declan Hartwick didn't date women like her. They danced with them at fancy parties, then went home to their real lives. But his eyes held something raw, lonely, real. She took his hand. They danced. 3 songs that blurred into each other, his hand warm on her lower back, her head somehow ending up against his shoulder, the ballroom fading until it felt like just the 2 of them breathing in rhythm. I should go, Colette whispered, not moving. Should you? Yes. But you're not. Not yet. They left the ballroom, found a terrace overlooking the river, talked until the party ended and the valets left and the sun started threatening dawn. About everything, nothing, the weight of expectations, the loneliness of crowded rooms, what it felt like to save lives, what it felt like to design buildings knowing they'd outlive you. I don't want this to end, Declan said softly. Colette's heart cracked. It has to. Why? Because tomorrow I go back to being a nurse with student debt. And you go back to being... She gestured at him. Whatever this is. What if I don't want to? It doesn't matter what we want. Before he could argue, she kissed him. Quick, desperate. Goodbye pressed into 3 seconds. Then she turned and walked away, leaving Declan Hartwick standing alone on that terrace. She didn't look back. 6 weeks later, staring at 2 pink lines on a pregnancy test, she wished she had. The baby came fast and angry. Push, Colette, push! She bore down, screaming through her teeth, every muscle in her body fighting. The delivery room lights too bright, too hot, everything wrong. One more, come on! Another push, another scream, then silence. That terrible infinite second before a newborn cries, Please! God, please! A wail, thin, furious, alive. It's a boy. The doctor lifted him, tiny, red, perfect. He's beautiful, Colette. They placed him on her chest, warm, solid, real. His eyes opened, unfocused, searching, finding hers. And they were brown, with flecks of gold, just like his father's. Hey, Asher, she whispered, tears flooding. Hey, baby, we made it. The nurse cleaned him gently, then looked up at Colette with something strange in her expression. The man from the accident, he's out of surgery. Colette's heart stopped. Is he alive, critical but stable? They're saying it's a miracle. The nurse paused. His family's here, the Hartwicks. The room tilted. What did you say? Declan Hartwick, the architect. His foundation basically built this hospital's new wing. No. No. Colette, your BP just spiked. Are you okay? She looked down at Asher, at his tiny face, his gold-flecked eyes. The man she'd saved, the father dying beneath her hands while his son fought to be born, was Declan, and he had no idea. Mariah arrived 3 hours later, balloons bouncing against the door frame. Girl, you're all over the news. Pregnant nurse saves billionaire during labor. It's going viral. Colette couldn't speak, just held Asher tighter. Mariah's smile faded. What's wrong? It's him. Who? The man from the accident. It's Declan, from the gala. Mariah's eyes went wide. Oh no! He's alive because I saved him, Colette's voice cracked. And he has no idea this baby is his. You have to tell him. I can't. His family. They'll destroy me. Say I trapped him. Take Asher away. I can't. Colette. I can't lose my son. Tears spilled over. I can't. Mariah sat on the bed, pulling her close. Nobody's taking Asher. But that man almost died. He deserves to know. Not yet. Please, just not yet. 3 floors up, Declan opened his eyes to white ceiling tiles and the steady beep of machines. Everything hurt. Mr. Hartwick? A nurse appeared. Welcome back. You've been out for 22 hours. His throat felt like sandpaper. What happened? Car accident. You pushed a child out of the way. The car hit you instead. Fragments returned. The boy. The street. Impact. Then a woman's voice. Fierce, refusing to let go. Stay with me. Come on, stay with me. Who saved me? The nurse smiled. A nurse from our labor and delivery unit. She performed CPR while in active labor. Both she and her baby are fine. It's incredible. What's her name? Colette Brennan. The name hit him like electricity. He knew that name. Knew it from somewhere he couldn't reach through the fog of pain medication. I need to meet her. Later. You need to rest. But Declan couldn't rest, because somewhere in his fractured memory, brown eyes looked down at him and a voice he'd been searching for said, Don't die. The invitation came on hospital letterhead. In recognition of your extraordinary service, you are invited to a private ceremony honoring first responders, Hartwick Manor, Saturday, 7 p.m. Colette stared at it until the words blurred. Don't go, Mariah said. If I don't, they'll ask why. So you're going to walk into his house without Asher. You'll watch him. I'll go, accept whatever award, leave. 30 minutes. He won't recognize me. Colette, he won't. Hartwick Manor looked like old money and new renovations. Colette's used Honda sat between a Tesla and a Mercedes like a toy. Eleanor Hartwick met her at the door, 60s pearls assessing eyes. Ms. Brennan, thank you for coming. My son is eager to meet you. Her stomach dropped. That's really not necessary. I'm afraid he's quite insistent. The library smelled like leather and wood polish, and standing by the fireplace, leaning on a cane, Declan, thinner, scarred, but those eyes, unchanged. Ms. Brennan, his voice soft, I've been waiting to meet you. How are you feeling? Alive, because of you. He took a careful step forward. The paramedics said you performed CPR while in active labor. That's beyond heroic. Anyone would have. No, they wouldn't have. His eyes searched her face. Have we met before? Her heart stopped. I work at Riverside. You've probably seen me around. It's something else. He moved closer. Your voice. I know your voice. Mr. Hartwick, you should rest. The spring gala, 6 months ago. His eyes widened. Navy dress. You disappeared before sunrise. The floor tilted. I think you're confused. You kissed me goodbye on a terrace. His voice dropped. Then vanished. I searched for you, Colette, for months. Tears burned. Please don't. Your baby. When was he born? Declan? When? The night of the accident. She watched him calculate, watched realization dawn like sunrise, brutal and beautiful. He's mine. Not a question. It was one night. Is he mine? The truth tore out of her. Yes. Declan staggered, catching the table. You were pregnant. When you saved me. You were carrying my child and you... His voice broke. Why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't know it was you. And by the time I realized, tears spilled. What was I supposed to do? Your family would have destroyed me. My family? He laughed, bitter. You think I care about my family's opinion? It always matters. Not to me. He stepped closer. I have a son. You have a life. One that doesn't include... I want to meet him. Every instinct screamed to refuse, but looking at Declan's face, the raw hope and desperate love already forming, she knew. Tomorrow, Mariah's apartment. Thank you. His voice cracked. Thank you. 4 months later, Colette stood in a nursery she'd never dreamed possible. Soft gray walls, windows overlooking gardens. Asher slept peacefully while Declan attempted to assemble furniture outside. The first weeks had been chaos. Eleanor's accusations. Paternity tests. Headlines. But Declan had stood firm. This was his family. Accept it or miss out. Eleanor had chosen acceptance. Slowly, painfully, but chosen. And somewhere in the 2 a.m. feedings and diaper disasters and exhausted laughter, Colette had fallen for him again. Not the fantasy, the reality. I think I broke it, Declan called from the yard. She laughed, opening the window. Instructions exist. Instructions are suggestions. Colette looked down at Asher. You saved him, baby, before you were even born. Some people believed in coincidence. She believed in divine appointments, in the exact right person appearing at the exact right moment, in blood and water and 2 broken people finding wholeness in impossible space. She believed in miracles, because she was living one. Sometimes the people we save end up saving us right back. If this story touched you, drop a comment sharing your thoughts, and hit subscribe for more real stories that prove miracles still happen. Thanks for listening.